And start recording, and the webcam is on. Let me get rid of that. Hello. I'm sure all of you by now have seen this video floating around comparing the hitboxes of the Demo Man's primaries. And what this video does show is that the hitbox on the Iron Bomber is indeed larger than the stock grenade launcher. And what's annoying about this is that everyone has taken this video and they just kind of ran with it saying, oh, the Iron Bomber is broken, the hitbox is way larger, it needs to be fixed, and the difference is huge. And I even heard recently that the hitbox is 9 times larger than the stock grenade launcher. And while there is indeed a difference, I think the difference between the two has been taken drastically out of proportion. And the unfortunate thing is that no one has opted to recreate what the video was trying to show. So I opted to do that this evening for you all right now, just to give you an idea of how little the difference is between the two hitboxes. So here we go. First thing I did, recreated the scene. We have the scout, hitbox is turned on, stock grenade launcher on the left, Iron Bomber on the right. The first thing I did was I only adjusted my angle of fire towards the scout's player model. And what you're going to notice is that the Iron Bomber does start hitting shots before the stock grenade launcher. Let them keep adjusting. You'll notice they'll start hitting. There goes the Iron Bomber. And then there goes stock. And what you'll notice is that the difference in cursor position is incredibly small. It is noticeable if you look at it long enough. It's a little bit hard to spot, but it is incredibly small. So now you might be saying, well, hey, wait a minute, Zesty, you only adjusted your angle. What about your position? Well, guess what? I also adjusted my position. This time around, I only shifted myself gradually towards the left. And what you're going to notice is that the Iron Bomber is going to hit that one shot, but then it stops hitting shots again. I think that's because I crouched and hitboxes get kind of wonky when you crouch. So I kept shifting myself a tiny bit towards the left. And again, what you're going to notice is that the Iron Bomber is going to start hitting shots before the stock grenade launcher. There goes the stock grenade launcher. But then if we look at the visual difference between the two, it is, again, noticeable, but very, very small. We have a slightly larger gap between the scout's shoulder and the actual reticule compared to the stock grenade launcher. So I'm sure many of you are not satisfied with just a visual difference. Okay, what about an actual value that we can represent this with? So what I did is I got my in-game positions using the set pose command. And what I got are these values. So just going over my change in physical position first. Here's my initial position. Here's my position with the stock grenade launcher. Here's my position with the Iron Bomber. Here's the difference between the initial and the two positions. And we're going to notice that the difference between the two is only 5 hammer units. That is incredibly small in Team Fortress 2. I think 1 hammer unit represents like It's on the order of centimeters when you actually convert the value. It's incredibly minuscule. Again, shown visually as well. And then when we go to the actual angle changes, we have the initial here, stock here, Iron Bomber here. The difference between the two is about 1/10 of a degree. Less than 2/10 of a degree between the two. Incredibly small. So again, this was just to show that the difference in hitboxes between the stock grenade launcher and the Iron Bomber, it does exist, but it's not nearly as large as everyone is trying to make it out to be. So hopefully this helps. Hopefully this quells a lot of misconceptions floating around right now about the hitboxes. I think this is a much more fair representation, and I think it's a bit of a misjudgment to say that the Iron Bomber is broken or overpowered in comparison to the stock grenade launcher, given these very minute differences. That's all I got. Thank you.